The General Ledger Setup Financial Statements feature, Part 2, is going to deal with the second tab, the balance sheet setup. Start off, we have a balance sheet title, which is going to print at the top of the report. And then we have a subtitle. And the subtitle is for assets, what you want to call your assets. Here we simply just say assets. Within the assets section of the balance sheet, you have up to 4 different subsections. Here we've only defined 3 of the subsections: cash on hand, current assets, and fixed assets. To the right, we designated a range of accounts in which correlate to the accounts that we want to group together as cash on hand. For the next entry, we do the same thing for current assets and so forth. The next main section is liability, main title, and there we're just calling it liabilities. Again, we have 4 sections. We've only utilized 2 of them in this example, and the last section is for equity, and we've labeled that accordingly as well. To demonstrate how these guys pull the information together onto a balance sheet, I have already pre-generated a balance sheet report based upon this setup. And if we take a look, we will see on the top of this report, as we scroll up, this is page 1, the assets section shows all of the 3 cash on hand accounts, or 4 cash on hand accounts that we have listed here, which fall within the account number range up on top for cash on hand. The next section, current assets, starts with 1200, and you can see that is the first account which we list here. And the third section for the asset section is fixed assets, and again you can see a separate title, fixed assets, and it shows the account for that. And then it gives you a total for all of your assets, and then it moves on to the next section for liabilities, and so forth. So this report follows through the same way for each of these different sections, grouping the general ledger accounts into those sections and giving you totals all the way through. At the bottom of the report, you can see it says net income, and that is actually pulled in from the income statement report just as a lump sum, and that is not affected by the balance sheet setup. And this concludes the part 2 of the Setup General Ledger Financial Statement feature.